day's finally here.
They're just pumpkins. Pumpkin. Pumpkin.
It is September 13th. I don't have a single fall decoration up. It is so time. It's so time to decorate for fall. We're doing it. I'm doing Halloween. I'm doing fall. I'm doing the whole thing. I would say like just fall, but like I don't have that many just fall decorations, so it wouldn't look that different. So we're going all out. We're doing Halloween. And I have no regrets. I love Halloween. I love to decorate early. Why wouldn't I want to decorate early? Why would I not want my room decorated longer than possible? I don't care if I still sweat when I go outside, okay? I made my pumpkin coffee. She's cute and gorgeous and perfect. A tad on the milky side, but that's okay. First things first, everything's still in the attic. Like all of my tubs of decorations are in the attic. Last time I opened that attic door, it was like an avalanche went off. I got into the habit of just throwing things in there when I didn't want them, including like loose articles of things. Like just, here's a cat bowl. I just threw it in there. So that's not exactly gonna be an easy feat for me. Also, I saw 3 dead cockroaches. And I'm genuinely really scared of bugs. I can't handle them. I'm not good at handling them. Even dead, I don't care. They give me the heebie-jeebies, and it like makes me not want to touch any of my things, thinking that a cockroach touched them. So we're gonna do our best. I'm gonna bring my, oh my god, I literally can't even think about doing it. I have my vacuum that I can just like suck them up, but then they're close to my hand, and that freaks me out. So how am I supposed to do this? And if there's a cockroach in one of the tubs, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. I'm not kidding. And Stinky's just gonna try and eat them the whole time. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie. I told my dad he had to be the one to get it out, but he's at work and I have to leave later, and now's really my only free time to do it unless I'm gonna wait until Sunday. So I really would like to get it done today, but we'll see if I start to have like a panic attack later. But I also, worst case, I need to go get more decorations, so I'm gonna bring y'all along with me. We're just gonna go to like Walmart and honestly the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree sometimes has really good stuff as long as it's not like super picked through, but Walmart I heard has like cute glasses and they just have like generally cheap stuff. So we're gonna go look at Walmart. I've got Halloween Town playing. That's always fun. Fun, spooky Halloween vibe. That's about it right now, I think though. I did want to show you I got new jewelry. So these are all from I don't know if it's Diamo or Diamo. Let me look. I'm gonna show you all of them. I got 3 new pieces. So they have an insane amount of choices to choose from, and they're also very unique choices. I feel like a lot of the jewelry stores online that I look at, a lot of the pieces are kind of the same. This one it's pretty universal. I feel like most stores have a bracelet like this, but just a nice little gold chain bracelet. I've been wearing these 2 bracelets for a while. I have been wanting like the thicker, chunkier bracelets. So this one was perfect. And then of course I had to get a ring, like of course, a little angel wing ring, and it's perfect because it is adjustable, and I have got chubby little fingers, so I love an adjustable ring, which also means I can wear it on whichever finger I want that day, because obviously as you can see and as you probably know, I like to wear rings and I like to switch up my rings, so being able to move this finger to finger depending on the day, amazing. And then I saved the best for last. You're not gonna believe it. When I was scrolling, Luna's eating now. Luna, can you just wait? She refuses to just wait. The best for last. If you're new here, you may not know this. If you're not new here, I'm not wearing it today. I'm not wearing my bear shirt, but I do love bears. It's my favorite animal. So when I saw this, I just had to get it. It's a freaking teddy bear. You're kidding. And I was worried it was gonna be like too big and like too flashy showy that like I wouldn't want to wear it that often. It's not. It's perfect. It's on a dainty little chain. I hate when I order a necklace, it doesn't look exactly like the picture, and like the chain will be like really thick or something, like where it just looks off when you get it, and the teddy bear is like holding the little star in the air. You're kidding. You're absolutely kidding. How freaking adorable. So I'm not kidding. Go get the freaking bear necklace so we can all match. And then send me a picture of you with your bear necklace. I'm giving you a discount code. If you use my name, again, Kendall Watson in all caps, 2 L's, you get 30% off your order. That's plenty off to go get the bear necklace. If someone goes and buys this bear necklace and then sends me a picture of it, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna have a heart attack and pass out and die. Bears are taking over the world. We need to get the bear community up in the world, okay? Back to the Halloween. Now we're done with the haul. We're going to Halloween. I need to get the boxes out. Oh my god, I'm so stressed out. All right, I'll be back. All right. I got them out with 0 casualties, okay? I feel like I need to express how difficult that is, and that actually happened. A lot of pillows, okay? I'm a big Halloween pillow girl. Cutie ghosty girl. And then I have 2 Squishmallows that are like kind of old and just need to be washed because they were obviously in the attic, like untouched for a year, and they just have like some stuff on them. So I'm gonna wash these and then find a spot for them. So I did forget to mention, this video is not just decorating, okay? I'm gonna give like fall recs at the end. So there will be some book stuff in here. I just want to decorate for fall first, and then we'll talk spooky books and fall thriller books, okay? Oh my god, I forgot I fucking had this. Where is Stinky? Ooh, it's too big on mugs. As soon as Stinky comes in here, this is going on him. Don't you worry. Anyways, I'm gonna lay everything out, see what I have, and then we'll go from there. I think that's it. I also need a little step stool, which is frustrating. I just got this yesterday. It's an Art the Clown Pop Funko. Are you kidding me? On his little bike. That's one of my favorite scenes in the original Terrifier when he comes in on the bike. It's so funny. But here he is in all his glory. I somehow need to get to there. I just don't have as much room as I used to, is the thing. I believe that's motion censored. Do we think this can hold me? So I should have remembered this bookshelf. Not only is it a bookshelf and probably can't hold my weight, it is from like 2000. Okay, so now we have another thing on the list. I cannot believe that just happened. I mean, like, I can because it felt sturdy, okay? I don't know what to do right now. Thank God, all I have to say, I was so scared. I thought these were gonna come down with it. I'm not gonna lie. Can you imagine that happened if all my bookshelves fell over right now? I would have had a mental breakdown. My whole weekend would have been ruined. Well, let me make sure no books are ruined. Okay, the books themselves seem fine. Thank God. Can you hear that? That's my car. That's my car engine, just like making fun noise. But on the bright side, I have an appointment to bring my car in Monday. So it's getting fixed. Don't worry, guys. The car is getting fixed. I'm gonna have air conditioning again. Whew, cannot wait. It's gonna be like 2 weeks though, so I'm gonna have a rental car. Anyways, going now to go get a new bookshelf because of that monstrosity that just freaking happened. So we're going to Walmart first. The problem is the bookshelf is super old. So like I can't just like replace it with the exact same bookshelf. And I want the exact same thing because I don't need it any taller. The one that I have that I got most recently from Target is taller than that. It's the one that has all my Harry Potter stuff on it. It's 3 shelves instead of 2. And if it's any taller, the cats are going to struggle to get on top of it. And they're the ones who like hang out up there. That's like their little cat spot. So I'm worried to like go get one from Target because I don't think they're going to have the size I need. So we're going to go look at Walmart. Since I was going there anyway, perfect. There's a car. I'm like half pulled into my driveway. I'm just like stopped so that the lighting was a little bit better. There's a car across the street, half through their driveway right now. They just stopped and it looks like they were like waiting for me, but I'm very obviously not going anywhere, so. You know the drill.
We gotta wait. I'll see you at Walmart. All right, haul time. I feel like I haven't done a haul in my car in so long. It's usually books. I spent $45. There was glass in that. There's just pumpkins. This to go in my vase that I have that I put seasonal flowers in. I didn't have any fall flowers. Pumpkin. Okay, this glass. The one that I wanted was, it had ghosts. Oh, it's color changing. There were little ghosts instead, but they were out. So I got the little pumpkin one, and that was like $3. So why would I not get it? Window clings to put on my mirror, even though the cats will fuck those up for sure. A little ghost blanket. That's what it looks like. That was also like $5. And then I got orange lights just to put somewhere. I don't fucking know where, but somewhere. Toothpaste for $1. Bats to put on the wall somewhere. God, I'm just like hot and itchy. Bats. This to make my room smell good. I bought candy because I love candy corn. The like brown candy corn is my favorite, but I also like the pumpkin. So I got both to put in my glass pumpkin jar. And then last but not least, my first pumpkin candle. And it smells literally so good. You're kidding me. Farm, apple, and pumpkin. A little bit of both. But I got it because it was $10 and a decent size. That is the full haul. Did not go anywhere else because I was out of time. And I spent $45. Also, couldn't find the shelf I want. So we did not get a shelf. It's like super annoying. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you, but whatever. I'm here to babysit. So I'll see you at a later time. I don't really know what to do with this over here. I'm like profusely sweating right now. I need to put shorts on right now. Okay, so I'm not getting these up right now because I don't have a step stool. One thing I like to do is putting these there. That's not gonna happen today. I've only got like 30 minutes left until I need to like get ready for dinner and leave. So this will be another day. But just picture this there. I hate that. I'm almost ashamed. The amount of holes in this wall from Christmas and Halloween, heinous. You would think I would just reuse holes. I never like where they are. So if you could be embarrassed by the amount of holes in a wall, I would be embarrassed. Also, we'll see how long that lasts with the cats. Okay, I think I want these on one of the slanted walls. So I think I'm gonna put them over there. Okay, we're back. We are back. This is as good as it's gonna get. Me, look-wise, what y'all are seeing, this is as good as it's gonna get today, okay? I'm not mentally here enough to make myself look better. So we're gonna get back to decorating. I only have a few things left to do. I feel super far away. I wanted to show you, I like half fixed the bookshelf. So I'm not gonna go get another one. Thank God I didn't that day because I'd be pissed. But it's kind of like, if you could see, which you can't, it's just like sitting on top of the screws that stick out. Like if you've built a bookshelf before, you like kind of know what I'm talking about. So the top is not on correctly. It's just like sitting on, but it holds Stinky. That was all I cared about, is that it holds the cats. And I also, the middle shelf, I just kind of stuck back in there and it wobbles like really badly. But if I push the books the correct way, it holds the books. And I did put it in wrong, so you see the like wood edge and the part that's like got fucked up, but I don't care. As long as it's sitting, I don't care. What else? I put the bats up. I put some skeletons over here. I'll show you in a second. I got out my coffee mugs, my Halloween mugs. Hold on. I'll just sit here till I'm done debriefing. Oh, there was one on both sides. My Jacqueline. I just woke up. My jack-o'-lantern mug. Oh, I just realized, okay, let me show you. I just realized, like, while looking at it, they were supposed to be doing different dance moves. They're doing the same dance move. Their arms are just different. Whatever. Have a couple more things to hang. This guy is missing a leg. Whatever the bottom part of below your knee is. I want to say femur, but I feel like that's wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, all the nurses out there. Or if you just know anatomy. Is that your femur?
attached to your foot. He's missing one, but he's glow in the dark. Also, I was looking at old pictures from my decorations last year. I'm missing 3 Squishmallows. These. Where are they? So I have to go digging in the attics again, looking for them, and I get scared again. I thought I was in the clear. But I like those. Those are my favorite. I washed these Squishmallows, so those are nice and clean. But I need to find the other ones. So, and then we'll get into the fall Rex. I forgot that's why we're here. We're not really here for the decorating. We're here for the fall Rex. I also, if I go downstairs at all, I'm going to show you my Halloween espresso mugs. That's that me espresso. They're all skeletons. It's really cute. So I'll show you that eventually when I go downstairs. It's just not right now. Okay, I found them. They were actually right there in front in a Halloween bag. And I, for some reason, didn't think to look. Now, I haven't looked in here yet, and I'm getting itchy at the prospect of there being a bug inside. So we're gonna do this together. It kind of feels like you're here for moral support, because no one's home right now. And I'm actually genuinely scared to do this. And it, like, feels dramatic. But if you're scared of bugs, you get it, okay? I just can't. It's so difficult to, like, just forget about the fact that there could be a bug in here. Like, imagine there was a spider. I would have to throw them out. I'm not kidding. I would have to literally throw them out. Isn't this bag cute, though? Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I did it the first time. I can do it again. From, like, first glance, nothing. It looks fine. I'm just gonna dump, okay? There's just, like, dirt falling on my bed now. I probably could have done this on the floor. Okay. That was ridiculous. Something on the side of my bed. That was a true scare. I literally just got itchy from that. Something on the side of my bed just, like, I don't know, itched my leg. Like, literally like a leg hair. Moved weird and, like, pricked my leg, and I thought it was a bug. Number 1. Number 2. She looks like she needs to be washed. Okay. Number 3. No bugs. Just a bunch of dirt. Woo! No bugs. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit better now. I'm not as itchy. Aren't these so cute? Little Jack Skellington. This I got both of these at the fair when the state fair came because they had a Squishmallow tent. Or not tent, but like the water gun game. You could win. It was all Squishmallows. So you best believe I played that multiple times. Right next to the Ouija pillow. That's pretty much all the decor I have. I guess we can get into fall Rex. Except the thing is, I don't feel like taking down every single recommendation that I have off my shelf. So I'm gonna go down the list, and ones that are easy to grab, I'll grab. Ones that are kind of like behind decorations, I don't want to fuck up the decorations now. So didn't think that one through. I'm gonna give you a final once over of the room to look at all the decor. I pulled out some books. That's why it looks like kind of a mess over here. Sweet blind kitty. So I feel like I've picked out a decent amount and a wide variety. We've got mystery and thriller. We've got some fantasy. We've got some fall themed romances, you know, the cozy like romances. I've even got some horror for those of you who may want to try out horror this year, which you should. They're so short and just like easy to get through. You should try at least one horror, even if it seems like not your thing. If you don't like horror movies and stuff, these aren't necessarily like scary. Some are. Some definitely give you the spooks, but they're more like twisted, you know? So just try at least one. Just try one. Or try a smutty one. That might get you into some. But I'm just gonna kind of go down my list. And if I have the book here, I'll show the book. If not, deal with it. I'm going back all the way to 2022 for some of these thrillers, because I read some really good thrillers, like right away, right off the bat. Some of my favorite thrillers are like really old ones. We're starting Starting with an oldie but a goodie. The Silent Patient. I'll talk quick because I feel like a lot of people have read this book, but if you haven't, now's the time. Now is the time to just get through the popular books that you were like too cool to read because they were popular on TikTok. Just read them. They're good. This had one of the biggest plot twists that I've ever read about. This was, I'm not kidding, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th book I ever read when I first started reading shook me to my core. I was like, are they all going to be that crazy? They definitely aren't. For those of you who said they guessed what happened, so you're a genius, I guess, because I never saw this one coming. Get off your high horse and just read The Silent Patient if you haven't yet, okay? Read it, report back, because it's worth it. It's so worth it. One of the craziest plot twists I've ever read. And that's all I'm going to tell you about it. Alright, I'm going to jump into Riley Sager. So Riley Sager as a whole is one of my, like, all of his books are one of my favorite thriller authors. None of that made sense. Riley Sager is one of my favorite thriller authors. He just constantly delivers, okay? I'm only holding this one, but I'm going to tell you which of them all are worth it. I think his favorite one is this one, actually, the only one left. It's giving, like, slightly verity. This woman was basically known for murdering her entire family. Like, she's, like, the famous, whatever her name is. She lives in this massive house that's on top of a cliff. It's, like, slowly deteriorating. I'm having a stroke. Like, one day it's literally just gonna fall into the water, but that's beside the point. So she is this old crippled lady now. Like, can't move, can't do shit. I don't even think she can feed herself. She's in a wheelchair, so she needs, well, like, 24/7 care. So this woman takes the job because she apparently fucked up in the past and was gonna get fired and can't get any job. So this is the only job she can get, is this old murder woman. And, like, weird shit starts happening, and she has this feeling that this woman can move and that she's not actually paralyzed, basically. I think she's fully paralyzed. I don't know. And then the last, like, 60, 75 pages, I love when an author, like, wraps up a bunch of plot points at once and all starts to make sense. And then there's also twists. So, like, if you like how stories will unfold where everything just starts to make sense, this has that, but it also has plot twists, like, back to back to back. And you're like, holy shit, whiplash, okay? So this one's my favorite for sure. I'm not gonna get them down. House Across the Lake, loved. That was my first Riley Sager book ever. She can see into the house across the lake and sees this wife and husband fighting, like, really badly. And then the husband goes missing. So she's like, I'm pretty sure. It's been a while since I've read this. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then she befriends the wife and, like, is trying to get the details, but she's also kind of like an unreliable narrator because she's basically an alcoholic. And so it's just very cool to see it, like, unfold. And she thinks, like, she's finding out what happened. It's just, there's only so many details I can tell you, and that's where I'm gonna stop. Home Before Dark. If you liked Haunting of Hill House, the show, read that. Read it. Super good, super spooky. Remind me so much of Haunting of Hill House, the show. Oh my god. Which, by the way, if you haven't watched that, now's the year to watch it because that's one of the best shows I've ever seen on Netflix in my entire life. I rewatch it every year. It's so good. Another good one, Survive the Night. I would say, as far as, like, a rating system would go, I rated it like a 3, like it was an average read. For some reason, it has just stuck in my mind, and I think about it all the time. Basically, this girl gets a ride home from college for winter break or something, and it's a stranger, essentially. She just gets a ride home with this person who's going the same direction as her, and there's a campus serial killer that they haven't caught yet. So she, for some reason, does this and doesn't think he's gonna be the serial killer, and just the whole time he's saying things where she's, like, a little creeped out. It's just, you're like, so is he a serial killer, or is he literally about to kill her? So those are my favorite Riley Sager books. The ones I don't think are super worth reading are Final Girls. It's okay, like, it's a good average read, but, like, I don't remember anything about it, so it did not stick with me. Middle of the Night, I just read, absolutely hated, was so bored in it. So sorry, Riley Sager. I literally love you, want to smooch you on the mouth, but I hated that book. Lock Every Door was okay if you like cult books. I do not like cult books. They bore the shit out of me. Like, it's so anticlimactic. When I find out a fun thriller, it's just a cult. Like, it feels like a cop-out. I don't know. I just don't like them. But if you like that, it's creepy hotel cult vibes, okay? And then The Last Time I Lied, didn't love because I don't love a camp theme. So if you like a camp theme, there's murders that happen at a camp. 10 years later, she comes back as a counselor and it's happening all over again. She's like, what the fuck? And then you find out what happened and you're like, whoa, that's actually pretty cool, but it just wasn't for me. Moving on from Riley Sager. 2 of my favorite books. Okay, Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. Loved this book. absolutely love this book. This is the book that really got me into thrillers, like, wholeheartedly. I was like, I need more of these. I need more books that make me feel how this makes me feel. It has so many different POVs, so you're constantly changing, like, directions. You're never getting bored. You do have to keep up, which is a little difficult sometimes. A woman goes on a jog and goes missing, and you think it's the cheating husband, or she's cheating on her husband, so you think it's the lover. But then a girl that went missing, like, a long time ago comes back, and you're like, whoa, how are these connected? Like, why are these connected? The plot twist at the end, insane. This book has stayed with me over 2 years. Insane. Love it. And then going right into Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I hit back-to-back jackpots on these books. This was such a good freaking book. I've never read another Karen Slaughter book. I don't really know why. This is the only one that I've read. And it is graphic, I will warn you, but it's so captivating. It's these two sisters who don't really get along, and there's obviously, like, traumatic history there that you don't know, that they're just, like, hinting at it the whole time. You don't know what happened. But it opens up with this woman and her husband. Actually, I don't know. I don't want to give it away. It happens right away, but I don't want to give it away because it's such a shock. So I don't know how to convince you to read this without giving things away, because it's just so good, and I was constantly gasping. Just go read it, okay? You have to see for yourself, okay? All right, I didn't get this one because she's down deep in there, but one of, if not the best thrillers I've ever read. Why is this really wet? Was Muggs just suckling on this? I literally don't remember. 2 of my favorite books. Okay, she was over here, but I don't remember her suckling, but y'all will because you were the one watching. Anyways, Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier. Also the only Jennifer Hillier book I've ever read, when I have others of hers on my TBR that I've had on for years, and I've never decided to read another one for some reason. Loved this book. It starts out crazy. I love when thrillers just get to the point and they're just crazy from the start and you're like, holy shit. So this one starts, this woman is going Christmas shopping with her son, like little 5-year-old boy, and he gets taken in the middle of like this really crowded market. Just gets taken, stolen right there in broad daylight. Love these types of books. So then she like has to go, she's yelling for him, you know, people are looking for him, she goes to security, and she can see on tape him leaving with someone. I think it was like a Santa or something. I don't remember what it was, but you can see on tape him leaving. So it's just the whole book is trying to figure out, and then you find out who it is. Crazy behavior. I honestly would want to reread it. I wish I didn't remember what happened because I want to reread that book so badly. Okay, going into Frida McFadden. So she is our thriller queen. We know her, we love her. She goes twists. Some of her books are very iffy, but there are some really good ones. So let me make sure I get them all. I guess I'll just start with like her most known, The Housemaid. That's another, it's like The Silent Patient. If you haven't read it, just read it. Now's the year. Get over it. Get over the hype of the TikTok shit and just read it because it's good. I wouldn't say the second one is necessarily as good or as crazy. It was a decent read, but it didn't do it enough for me to read the third one that just came out. Like I still haven't read that one, and I don't know if I will. But the first one, so good. Ward D, I read this year. Kept me on my toes the whole time, okay? Loved it. This girl goes to do a shift in an insane asylum, and there's like apparently like the most dangerous person is staying in there. And he, of course, the story is like, we can't let him get out. Like, what happens if he gets out? Shocker, something happens, he gets out. So it's just like a crazy, constant something happening story, and you never know who to trust, which is another reason I like her books, is because I never know who to trust, and I just don't even try to guess the ending because I like to be shocked. And I feel like when I'm reading Frida books, it's like I know she's gonna go for the not obvious, okay? Like, that's the whole point. She's not gonna do something that she thinks you can guess. In my head, I'm like, well, what would the least obvious person be? And that's what I convince myself of. And then I've kind of ruined it for myself. So not that I can guess it, but I'm like, well, if it's this, that would be the craziest thing. So I just don't even try to guess. I just am along for the ride and I'm enjoying it, okay? Which is what y'all should do when you're reading Frida books. Next of hers, The Teacher. This has some controversy, I've heard. I really liked The Teacher. I thought it was gross, yes, but like, some books are gross, you know, get over it. It's basically a teacher-student thriller relationship, okay? And like married teacher, and so like there's a murder happening, there's cover-ups happening, then there's more there's twists up into the last paragraph, and you're like, oh, damn. That one is worth it for me if you don't mind being a little grossed out by adults. I ate this one up in one night. One by one, this group of adults who are now, you know, facing like real life problems because they're not kids anymore. They go on this trip. They get stuck in the middle of the woods basically on the way to this trip, and like a stranger is there. It's kind of giving bodies where like just one by one they're dying, they're disappearing, and you're trying to figure out what the fuck is happening. So captivating, like really kept me in. I read it literally in all one night. So that might be it for my Frida. I feel like I need to pick this up. I feel like there's a lot of books still to talk about. So I'm going to do a little bit less explaining, a little more like kind of rapid fire with quick summaries. And sometimes I lie. This one is a girl goes into a coma. She can hear in her coma people talking out loud, and there are things shared out loud that shouldn't be shared out loud and that she hears, and she's trying to figure out how she got into the coma, like what happened, and then, you know, you eventually find out. A couple of these books I have talked about like plenty of times, like Hidden Pictures, creepy kid has imaginary friends and the nanny is like taking care of him, and he's just really fucking creepy. So I love that. That was actually a 5-star read for me. I really liked Hidden Pictures. Okay, Still Missing. I think about this book kind of all the time for some reason. A realtor goes to an open house and is kidnapped, and so it goes between her POV and other POVs, I believe. I read this on my Kindle, so it's a little more mushy in my brain. She is taken to this house and kept basically as a slave to this man who is holding her hostage for like a really long time, like well over a year. So that one's really good. Love that one. The Perfect Child. All I'm gonna say is if you've seen the horror movie Orphan, you would like The Perfect Child. It's kind of the same vibe. Adopted kid turns out a little crazy. Run on Red. These two girls are going to a party and are being followed. It's just like one of those books where the plot seems so interesting to me because it's very realistic. Like this isn't like some ghost crazy twist after another twist book. It's just worst case scenario, you're being followed and it's happening. You're watching it happen in real time. Could this happen in real life? 100%. So it's scary as shit, and it's two teenage girls. It's literally one of my biggest fears is being followed and like being stalked. Like that's terrifying. So you're just going on this journey of them being followed by this truck, and it's really scary. Taylor Adams, The Last Word. I did not get this one either. Same author of No Exit, which I've talked about No Exit too many times. Y'all know how I feel about that book. Love that book. The Last Word is this girl is she's house sitting and reads this book and rates it 1 star, and then the author starts stalking her. So that's all you have to know. I think that's all I grabbed or decided to talk about in the thriller mystery genre. So now I only have a few in these next couple genres, but let's do YA. So I just read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I thought it was a very average read, but I think I wasn't in the mindset to read a YA mystery. You know, I was ready for more action, more suspense, that kind of thing, and it just didn't have that much because it's YA. You do go through the entire process of finding out, you know, like what happened to this girl. It's kind of giving like Pretty Little Liars vibes, where it's Alison De Laurentiis. She was murdered and you're trying to figure out what happened. Some people love it. Me personally, I did not, but that doesn't mean that you won't love it. Okay? And then you can watch the show, which I watched episode 1 and called it quits. I'm gonna recommend this book and series every single time I'm recommending books. The Natural series, it's just amazing. You've heard it 100 times, you're gonna hear it again. It's like Criminal Minds for teenagers. You know what was coming out of my mouth? I had to say it, okay? I don't know how else to describe it. Put Criminal Minds on. If you don't watch Criminal Minds, maybe watch that this year too, because it's really good. Alright, I'm gonna segue into like, because I only have a few to talk about, into like the fall romance vibes, you know? This doesn't actually fall into that, really. I don't know what this would fall under. But the Mindfuck series, it's not exactly a thriller. I don't know what you would consider this, because it's heavy romance. There's obviously heavy romance. It's just a girl who is technically a serial killer. Like that's literally what she is, but she kills people basically who have wronged her in the past. Definitely check trigger warnings where you read this because it's super graphic, but like it's needed to justify her actions by how graphic her life was. And so in my opinion, it does justify her actions, so it's fine. But then she falls in love with the literal like head of the FBI who's hunting her. His main job is to find her, and they fell in love and he doesn't know it's her. So very fun. This is all 5 books, so they're very short. Each book is like 100 to 150 pages, so definitely worth a read. One of my favorite reads. Like, this is a 5-star series for me. Love this. The X-Hex. I didn't love the plot of the book, but it was one of the funniest books I've read. The author made me laugh so many times to where I want to read The Kiss Curse, the second one. So if you like frilly fall-themed romances, you can give that one a try, because it's the X-Hex and The Kiss Curse. They go hand in hand. That's all I got. Next, you also knew I was going to talk about this. Haunting and Hunting Adeline. Okay? I'm not going to go into it. I promise I won't. I don't care how you feel about this book. Unless you love it, then period. But check trigger warnings, read them, report back. One of my favorite series of all time. Ugh. Just such good books. If you don't care about the aspect that people don't like in this book, the questionable aspect, then you're gonna eat it up, okay? I ate it up. One of my favorite series ever. That's getting too high for me. It's going right back down here. We might be moving on to fantasy. 2 genres left. We're doing fantasy. Let me get the big ones out of the way, okay? Because I know what you're thinking. You don't want to hear any more of it. Fourth Wing, obviously. Fucking obviously, okay? And now's the perfect time if you haven't read it, because the third one comes out in January. So read Fourth Wing, read Iron Flame, and then you barely have to wait for Onyx Storm, okay? Favorite book of my entire life. I have to say it, okay? Like, you knew it was coming. Also, feels like a crime if I didn't talk about ACOTAR. While that might be my favorite book of my entire life, this is my favorite series. This series is so ungodly good. And that's all I'm gonna say about it, because you know. Also, I think it's best to go into these books blind, so like I don't want to tell you a single thing about it, just to read it, because they're the best books in the entire world. Which leads me also to, I didn't get them down because they are deep behind decorations, but Throne of Glass also. I mean, just like those are, I feel like the 3 obvious ones. Everyone has to say them because like of course they're worth mentioning. Of course they are. Next, I pulled Divine Rivals. I don't know how I feel about this, because obviously it's duology and it ends on a cliffhanger, and I didn't like the second book. So do I think the first one is worth the read? Yes, but knowing that it ends on a cliffhanger, and I don't recommend the second book, you know, maybe just read the first one, see how you're feeling. If you really, really love it, you know, you can read the second one with very low expectations, or just look up how it ends, okay? But it's the whole typewriter fiasco, you know, like these two people are talking to each other through a magic typewriter. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, I didn't pull this one either, even though it's right there. Powerless, I have to talk about that too. So if you haven't read Powerless, I don't know what you're waiting for. I do not think it was overhyped in the slightest. I think the second one was a little rushed, so that one's not as good. But the first one, is it original? Is it, you know, groundbreaking writing? No. You're gonna eat it up though. Like the banter, the quickness of the story, it pulls you in. It has aspects from every single story you've ever loved in your life, all put into one. You're gonna love it. The novella Powerful tore me to shreds, 6-star read over Powerless. Like, it was better to me than Powerless was, and it was a little novella. So those 2 you need to read, and then you can read Reckless and make your own opinions about it. I don't really care. There are other fantasies that I've read that I think are worth mentioning, even though they weren't my favorite. Like, some people love these books, so there's a chance you will. One Dark Window, Once Upon a Broken Heart. I haven't finished that trilogy though, so like I cannot like fully talk about it. Light Lark, if you want to read that, go ahead. I did not like that book, but sure, those are worth mentioning. One definitely worth mentioning. I think it's time. If you haven't read this book, now is the time. Let's do it as a group. We're reading Twilight, okay? We're reading Twilight. It's Twilight Fall.
This is the skin of a killer, Bill.
We went from Brat Summer to Twilight Fall, okay? I don't care how cringy it is. Don't care. Didn't ask. I don't care if you hate the movies. Don't care. Didn't ask. We're reading Twilight this fall, okay? That's it. We're reading Twilight. Thank you. Okay, I think we're into my favorite category that I was waiting for. Okay, it's time to talk about horror books. If you have not read horror, typically they're small. They're 100 to maybe like 150 pages, sometimes even less. They're little teeny tiny novella looking books that pack a punch and try and just get you right away. All right, and I'm going to tell you some of my favorites. Okay. And typically there's heavy sexual tones or just a lot of sex happening in horror books. It just is what it is. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, maybe find one that doesn't have a lot of sex. I'll let you know the ones that do and the ones that don't. Some are very obvious based on the title. All right, starting off, no sex, don't worry. Cabin at the End of the World. This was a movie recently, Cabin in the Woods. I believe, no, that's not the same one. The movie had a different title. It was the M. Night Shyamalan, blah, blah, blah. I'll put up the picture. It had Ron Weasley in it. Very interesting concept, as long as you don't mind not knowing how a book ends, because this does not give you an ending. But this gay couple have an adopted Asian kid. They're adorable, love them so much. Jonathan Groff actually plays in the movie, so it's definitely worth going to see. They get approached by this group of people who supposedly don't know each other, and they're telling them they either have to kill one of the couple, they have to kill one of them, like choose who dies, or the entire world's gonna end. And just like, they're like, fuck off, like literally leave. And they have these axes and like these really crazy weapons, and they're like begging them. They're like, no, you literally have to. You fucking have to. So they're like, leave us alone. And then since they didn't pick, they have to kill one of the group. So they just straight up murdered someone that came to the cabin. So then the couple's like, oh, they're not messing around. And then like a tragedy happens each time someone dies, and they'll like turn on the news and be like, look, we're not kidding. The fucking world's gonna end. So it's a cool concept. I just don't like books that don't give you the ending, and this one didn't. So, but no sex. Okay, heavy sexual happenings. Womb. One of the weirdest books I've ever read. Oh my god, it's basically this old man hires a prostitute to this hotel room, not to have sex with her. All he wants to do is tell her his life story, basically. And it ends with a very, like, the stories are so fucked up, for sure, but it ends in a very disturbing, creepy way that I think you just need to read. You need to read to understand and find out for yourself. Very weird, but you also kind of need to have a strong stomach for that one. Okay, I'm gonna get some of the smutty ones out of the way, because these aren't necessarily horror books. I think they're just more like fall Halloween vibes. Scream for Us. Obviously that's gonna be smutty. And this one, I actually, out of all of the little short smutty Halloween novellas I've read, one of my favorites. It is made for people who, if you have a little mask kink, go for it. It's 3 of the like Jason Voorhees, Scream, and Michael Myers. It's basically a gangbang of that, but like kind of with a plot. Like there was more plot than usual in that book, and it was kind of good. Moving on. If you remember last year, if you've been here since last year, I talked about Squeak. I'm not gonna go into detail, but it's basically this weird fucked up story about these 2 guys that are balloon animals and can turn human, and there is sex, so don't read it if you don't want to read about balloon animals having sex, basically. But there's 2, Squeak and Squeal. It's the Squeakiverse. Thank you. Moving on. Riding the Headless Horseman. Moving on. Okay, and then we're gonna end on the 2 most recent ones, so I don't have to talk about them in grave detail because you've heard me talk about them. Gone to See the Riverman. There's not like any weird sex or anything in that, so that one is good to go. She's obsessed with a serial killer in jail, and he asks her to do this job and take a key to the Riverman. She goes, takes her sister, fucked up things happen. That's about all I'm gonna tell you. And then my favorite, we're gonna end on a bang. My favorite one. Did I talk about them all? Yeah. My favorite thriller horror book that I've read thus far is Brother. I spoiled the entire thing except the ending in one of my other videos. So if you want tidbits of this book, please go watch that video. It's basically this family who murders together, and like each person in the family have a job. Like someone murders our main character cleans it up, that kind of stuff. You find out just the craziest shit plot twist. It is such a full circle book that things that happen in the very beginning that you like have kind of forgotten about, they bring it back. She brought it all the way back and made it connect and made it weird. So good though, so crazy, so captivating. Her writing is so like descriptive. You can see it in your mind. I literally feel like I was watching a movie. One of the best thriller books I've ever read. I don't even know what it is. If it's thriller, horror, I don't know. It's not like anything weird sexual. There is like some weird undertones in it, but like nothing. It's not like a smutty book. So you are free to go watch that. Read that. Okay, I think that's all the books I want to talk about. Amazing. I finished. Oh, I also wanted to talk about like a quick TBR. Quick. Because we've been here for a while. Don't worry. Some of my TBRs coming up, so I need to know if they're worth the read, alright? When the Moon Hatched, Serpent of the Wings and Night, whatever that's called, Zodiac Academy, which I realized I saw them in person. fucking huge. There's so many of them and they're all huge. Would I like to read those? Yes, it's not gonna happen this year. I'm not gonna read them all this year. I can't even fucking finish Throne of Glass. And I started that. I had the entire year to read Throne of Glass and I didn't. Butcher and Blackbird. I would like to finish Throne of Glass. There was more, but those are the main ones that I really want to read. This like fall fantasy era. Those are the fantasies I want to read. But who knows? Their fantasies are big. They're hard. They're hard to get into. But we'll see. That's all for right now. I also wanted to update you, since I have you here, I wanted to update you on my new jewelry because I know some people are kind of iffy and like scared to buy new jewelry, especially if it's not like really expensive and you're worried it's gonna be like not the best jewelry for your skin. So the Diamo Jewels that I was talking about earlier, I've worn my jewelry full days now. I wore the bracelet and the ring for an entire day where I was sweating, and the very first day I haven't had a single problem with the bracelet or the necklace. Like none of that turned my skin green, so that's beautiful because I really love this bracelet and would like to wear it 24/7, and I'm not having any issues, not a single green on my skin. The very first day that I wore the wings, it turned my finger green, so I was like a little worried, but second day and today, no problems whatsoever. So I think that it just needed to like get the first bit out of its system, because I would tell you, I would trust me, I would tell you if shit turned my fingers green, and it did the first day, but we're good now. Needed its day to get like the first layer off, and now we're fine. So if you want a very honest review, that's my review, is that maybe when you get the rings, you just need to give it a day to like get it all of it, get the layer off, and your finger's gonna be green. You just gotta be ready for that. But I wore it at the USC game yesterday where I was sweating, and I wore it the entire day and not a single lick of green on my finger. So beautiful, love that, amazing news, honestly. I mostly wanted to share because I love when I find rings that don't turn my fingers green. So amazing. I needed y'all to know that. I'm in my rental car and I've never rented a car before. This was my first experience doing this. I made a grave mistake. Oh, I made such a bad mistake. I got all my stuff out of the car. Everything I needed that I thought I needed. Handed her my little keys. I say, here you go. Here's my whole keychain. Didn't grab my work key, garage opener, or house key. How did I think I was gonna get home? So here I am outside my house just waiting because both my parents are at work and I have no way to get inside. Having a good time. This is brutal. Brutal. But since I'm here, I did get my mail. I'm too excited for this unboxing to not do it on camera and right now in this car, so. Shut up. I love a tote bag. Shut up. Jordan from Birdhouse Books. Okay, you see? Can you see? Birdhouse Books. She's opening a bookstore in Kernersville, North Carolina. I can't exactly tell you where Kernersville is. I know it's like 2 hours from here. 2 to 3 hours from here. So she's opening a bookstore called Birdhouse Books. And they have their grand opening on October 5th. And I can't go. I'm so upset I can't go. But she sent me, oh my God, she sent me t-shirts. You're kidding. Okay, that's backwards. Ah! Oh no, it wasn't. It's right there. Birdhouse Books, woman owned, community grown. I'm gonna freak out. Oh my God, this is so fun. Shut up. I closed my book to be here. That's so cute. Shut up. Look at that. Oh my God. This is so fun. Look. Ah. And some bookmarks. Look at this bookmark. Oh, this is where I fell asleep. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Jordan. Literally shut up. So if you're anywhere near Kernersville, go see Birdhouse Books. Their grand opening is October 5th. Look how stinking cute. And it's like my dream to open a bookstore. So we have to support. We have to support our local ladies who are opening bookstores. That's crazy. Thank you so much. That is so exciting. This video was already done, but I had to add this in here, obviously. I had to add the new car and the unboxing in here. And I'm literally just gonna cut back to me from the last clips saying bye, so because I'm not gonna say bye now. I'm gonna cut back. Where you freaking thought I was done. You thought I was leaving. Psych. One last super exciting thing came. I just checked the mail. I haven't talked about this book yet. That's the only reason why I'm showing it. I thought it was the new Fourth Wing paperback. It's not. Quick backstory. I watched a girl describe this to her boyfriend and like cackling the whole time on TikTok. And she explained like a good 100 pages of the book. And I instantly was like, no, I need it. I need it. I need it right now. I need it instantly. I need it in my gullet. I downloaded the sample on Kindle Unlimited or Kindle, whatever, because they don't have it anywhere. And I knew within 2 chapters of the sample that I needed the book. So, ready for the big reveal. I had never heard of this book. This was my first time. And to get me that quickly on a book is pretty impressive. So it's kind of giving similar vibes to Haunting and Hunting Adeline. Oh my god, it was huge. Lights Out by Nevessa Allen? No idea, but I've got it. And it's a series, I'm pretty sure. Basically what the plot is, oh, this is gonna sound silly saying it out loud. This girl is a nurse and she follows, I hate to say it because it's gonna sound cringy out loud, but like TikTok is in the book. So she talks about how she follows these accounts that are like thirst traps. As we all do, like, bye. And her favorite in particular is this guy who wears a mask. She apparently, like, comments on all of his stuff, but they're, like, funny. They're supposed to be funny. They're not, like, weird, you know? You get the vibe. She one night screenshots it and sends it to this guy who she was like casually hooking up with. It's just been a while, and is like, would you be down to do this? And he's like, oh, no. But also he just started seeing someone. So he's like, we also like can't keep hooking up. Like it's been a while and I thought we were done. So he goes to the other POV later on and he's showing his roommate this picture. The roommate to him, he's like, that's so silly. That's so crazy that she's sent you that picture of me. And like he doesn't know. So it's so funny. And then basically like the whole thing is it's like Haunting Adeline where he breaks into her house and like sets up cameras, but they try so hard to make it in the least creepy way possible. Like he's not doing it to watch her. He was doing it to gauge the reaction because he like left the mask on her bed. Like he went when she was on shift as a nurse and filmed one of the videos in her bed. So she sees it and she's like, oh my god, I have that comforter. And then she gets home and he left the mask on her bed. So that's like why he set the camera up to see like if she would actually be into it or if she'd be really fucking freaked out. That's about as far as I got in the sample. If that hooked you, it hooked me. So I'm adding this to my TBR. Whatever. Oh, it's an L. Is there another L? What have I read? No! Of course I already, of all the letters in my name for this month, I read both L's. Whatever, I'm adding this to my TBR because every single book I've read recently, other than The Tandem, has just not been great. The Windy City series was the last few books that I really enjoyed. I've read like 4 in a row that I just did not enjoy. So I'm tired of like reading books that are just feel like homework to me. And this one has got me already kicking my feet giggling. So I'm gonna read this, despite it being a third L. We can pretend there's a third L in my name. This and The Tandem, I'm gonna keep going back and forth between. But that was it. Just wanted to show you my new book. Now, but that's it for this video. Hopefully you got something out of it. If not, I hope you enjoyed decorating with me. And that's all I've got to say. I hope y'all are ready for the September wrap up because I've been cranking them out for y'all. Cranking them out, alright? And if you have any really fun, I've been wanting to read like a kicking my feet. Oh, I thought of the other books I wanted to read is the freaking Pumpkin Spice Cafe book and the Cinnamon Roll Deli thingy, whatever they're called. I want to read those so badly. And those are the types of books I want recommendations on. If you know any books that like make you giggle and kick your feet but they're fall themed, give them to me. That's what I want. I want to read those. I want to kick my feet to a pumpkin spice themed book, okay? Thank you. Leave it down below and I'll give you a smooch on the mouth, all right? But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If not, so sorry. And I'll see you at the next one.